ran out on me there. Theatrical production. So I'm back here. This is part 2, radio, television, movie classics. Theatrical production. Usually a motion picture of some kind. So let's recap NBC, because I don't know exactly when it ran out on me. So we're going to do NBC one more time. NBC started at night at 7:30 was The Saint. And that was, of course, Roger Moore. Then at 8:30 it was Get Smart. 9 o'clock it was the CBS Saturday Night the Movies. And that's Retro Prime Time on radio, television, and movie classics. Hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening to. Remember, GJRB does not own the rights to the themes of these TV shows, these classic television programs, nor do we own the rights to the NBC and Peacock and all that good stuff. But this is just for trivia entertainment purposes only. Share with your friends, but please be very, very careful. This is copyrighted material, and I believe in the rights of the owners of these recordings, in these programs. And, you want to see these programs, and you want to see the videos of these, just go to the GJRB TV YouTube channel and subscribe. And you can see all these on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. You'll see everything that's in my playlist, pretty much. It's public. And I have all those playlists public, so you can go in there and watch all these classic TV stuff. So just to let you know about that. You listen to radio, television, and movie classics. I'm Gary J. Rustin, and we're in the second hour of this great trivia program that I love doing. And I got some more stuff here. And we'll answer the trivia questions coming up here in just a little bit. Right now, though, we're going to continue. We'll star profile this hour on Ronnie Shell. And got some TV guide pages coming up in this segment. So stay with me. Right now, though, I'm thinking, why don't we do this? Kind of pop in here and see what we got coming up in the next segment here. Why don't we go and take care of that? We're going to pull up the Ronnie Shell bio, and we'll do that next here on Radio, Television, Movie Classics. You're listening to GJRB Online. I'm Gary J. Rustin. Thanks a lot for tuning into the program. Love doing this trivia stuff. I enjoy it to pieces. I love doing this stuff. It's so much fun. And you want to be part of the program, you want to get into it, love to hear from you. And you can participate in the trivia questions and answer for you. I got some of the Angie Dickinson ones I haven't answered yet. We're going to do that next. And then we're going to get into some more really good stuff. So stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff to fill. Hope we can get it all in the time allotted. We're here till 6 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. Central Standard Daylight Time, by the way, just in case you might have forgotten. Tomorrow, this weekend, we do flip to Daylight Savings Time. Yes, I know you lose an hour, and the argument continues. I'm not going to get into it now, but we'll talk about that tomorrow on the Gary Rustin program, Saturday Extra, because I just, the argument still goes on, and I got to tell you, I sometimes get a little tired of it. I love Daylight Savings Time. So whether you lose an hour or not, that's fine. But you move your clocks ahead 1 hour Saturday night into Sunday morning. It takes effect at 2 o'clock Sunday morning. So turn your clocks ahead 1 hour as we go to Daylight Savings Time. And that will be this weekend. Okay? Just to let you know about that. And, you lose an hour, but I'll tell you what, it's all worth it in the long run when you get longer daylight, longer sunshine, and it always makes me feel, that much better. Really does, I gotta tell you. I'll be right back. We got more radio, television, and movie classics coming right up. There's a problem on our roads today, and that is the safety of our children boarding and getting off the bus on busy roads. That problem is drivers who don't stop for a school bus when the arm is out, the lights are flashing, and the stop sign is out, leaving kids in danger of getting hit. Violators of this law could get a suspension of their driver's license and a $250 fine. When you see a school bus stop at a corner, letting off kids, stop 25 feet away from the bus. Don't take that chance. A public service announcement from the National Highway Safety Administration and GJRB Online.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's Sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's Sports page. Join me for Sports Page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland. Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them. Help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.
And this is Radio, Television, and Movie Classics Trivia Show here on GJRB Online, and I'm glad you could be in on the program. You want to participate in the chat room? Love to hear from you. And, answer some of the questions. We'll have those Angie Dickinson questions answered here in just a little bit. And more good stuff coming up. Also have our profile on Ronnie Shell, and we got some clips. As a matter of fact, a comedic clip, which I think is kind of funny, a little monologue he did on the Johnny Carson program. We're going to play a little bit of that, and we'll see if we can throw in some Gomer Pyle clips too, somewhere along the line. So coming up here on GJRB Online. And of course, like I said before, if you just tuned in and you're listening to the program, you can answer the trivia questions that I got here. And I was doing one on Angie Dickinson last week. We had the rerun of Policewoman running all weekend on the matter of fact, I think on Decades. And this weekend, I believe they're running Cannon, which was another great series, cop series starring Robert Conrad, who played on the radio as Marshall Dillon on Gunsmoke. But later on down, he did a detective series called Gannon, which is it Cannon, C-A, something like that. Anyway, so honestly, maybe we can find some Cannon trivia questions. We'll see what we can find on that one. But otherwise, we'll answer those, and I'm going to repeat some of those for some of the benefit of anybody who might be coming in. I usually check every once in a while to see, through my public site, to see if there's anybody listening to the program. If I get some numbers on my Spreaker public site, people listening to the show live, then what I'll do is repeat the questions again so that we can kind of catch you. See if there's anybody listening live. Otherwise, we're going to go on now to do that. And let's see. I'm going to let's see. Why don't we flip this over and see if we can get that bit on Ronnie Shell. Let me do that. I think we ought to do that. Let's do that. So I got to go into my documents where I have that. I know I have that here, and pull that up. And let's see. I know I have that under B for bio, for biography, bio. Let's see here. Here we go. Bio. Here we go. Ronnie Ruff, Ronnie Shell. His biography right now. So right now, Ronnie Shell. He's 87 years old, by the way. Ronnie Ruff, Ronnie Shell. He was born December 23rd, 1931. He's now 87. He was probably best known for a 1960s comedy in which he played Duke Slater on Gomer Pyle USMC. He played that role for quite a while, playing the cast as the Marine private and best friend of Gomer Pyle. He left the Gomer Pyle USMC to be a disc jockey on a TV show of his own sitcom called Good Morning World. He then later returned to the Gomer Pyle USMC as a corporal in the fifth and the final season. So he came in the final season of Gomer Pyle playing Corporal Slater. He played Duke Slater's character as more of a streetwise, more smarter compared to Pyle's not so smart background. Sheltered background, whatever you want to call it. Jim Neighbor, who was played by Jim Neighbors. Upon the return, though, Slater kind of acted more like a mediator between Gomer Pyle and Sergeant Carter, portrayed by Frank Sutton, then as Pyle's buddy. But he then went on to do commercials for Southwest Airlines. And he did a few of those commercials. He did commercials for Southwest Airlines for some time back in the day. I don't think Southwest Airlines still exist. I'm not sure. He was doing commercials, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to go down the page. I know I have it here because I did play it once before. Usually what I do is I play the videos so that it's in the history, and all I can do is pull it up. Yeah, here it is. From 1972, this is his commercial for Southwest Airlines with a stewardess. I remember this commercial. This is Ronnie Shell in the Pacific Southwest commercial. Here we go. A way to get out of that one. And really didn't know he could sing, but that's one of the commercials for the Southwest Airlines Ronnie Ruff, Ronnie Show. He also did some PSAs too, in a PSA jingle. We did some stuff for Jerry Lewis Telethon. I think I remember that a little bit. He was working, he did a lot of stuff for him, as well as just something where he said, where did I do wrong? I tried to look for that commercial, I couldn't find it. He also did a commercial with Don Adams, imitating Don Adams' character as Maxwell Smart. His television credits include The Andy Griffith Show, Phil of the Future, Yes Dear, the Wayans Brothers, Step by Step, he was in that one, believe it or not, Coach, The Golden Girls, 227, he played a part in that one, I don't remember that episode, Saved by the Bell, he was in that one once, Empty Nest, Mr. Belvedere. Believe it or not, I didn't know he was in the soap opera. I don't remember him being on Santa Barbara. Wow. I had no idea he was in Santa Barbara. Trevor John M.D., Too Close for Comfort, Brian Keith Show. He played in Love Boat. I think I remember an episode with him in it. Love American Style, Alice, Mork and Mindy, among others. One Day at a Time, Charlie's Angels. He did a Charlie's Angels episode. He also did a Dukes of Hazzard, Sanford and Son, in Emergency. I remember him in that one. Happy Days, and Adam 12, and the new Dick Van Dyke Show. He also was in That Girl, Black Sheep Squadron, and he did a MASH episode. I'm trying to recollect him in MASH. When was he in MASH? And a show called Jesse. He was also in the Disney Channel 2007. Shell had a part in the touring cabaret show titled 5-Star Review with Gary Collins, Mary Ann Mobley, and Ruth Lee and Steve Ross. He also starred in the 2009 off-Broadway production Don't Leave It All to Your Children, a comedic musical review dedicated to those baby boomers who are more about to enter into the golden age of senior citizens. So, and he was a busy man. He did a lot of stuff. Ronnie show, and I'll play a clip later on from a Johnny Carson show, which I was listening to the other night. Kind of funny. He did a comedic monologue on a Johnny Carson show, so I got that clip. I'll play for you a little later on. You're listening to Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. If you want to get involved in the fun, you can do that. I am here on Spreaker, live on GJRB Online Network. You can drop me a line here and get into the chat room and participate in the show, and I'm going to answer those questions here coming up for the Angie Dickinson. I'll have a flood more trivia questions I'm going to pull up. And coming up at the end, I'll have my mystery questions, which I leave for you to answer in the GJRB Spreaker public site. And then I usually check to see if anybody's answered them. It hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it ever will, but we still do it just for the fun of it. And see if we can get some answers. And then I will give you some recognition on the air. So you can do that anyhow. Okay, so that sounds good to me, right? All right, you're listening to Gary J's Radio, Television, and Movie Classics on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And we're doing this on a Friday afternoon. Kind of doing like the second week of the month, usually, as a regular. But if I don't have a show ready, normally, it won't go on. And of course, spontaneous schedule now. That means any program could go on any time here on GJRB Online. Spontaneous meaning that we just go on the air at the spur of the moment. I post 72 to 36 to 48 hours before airtime, or down as about to like 3 hours before airtime. So you never know when we're going to be on the air with a program. It could be anything, and I'm planning on doing a little bit of preaching along the way too. So I've got more program ideas. I got more shows coming up, and I want to do some more non-stop programming and schedule shows, because like I have 23 top plus shows on this station, and not enough time to put them on, so I want to do full shows where we repeat some of the shows and pick time slots for these shows where they're more listened to. And at the beginning of today's broadcast, the top of today's broadcast, I had Blake Myers on. He left, so I'm hoping maybe he comes back, and maybe Blake will want to stay in and answer some trivia questions. So let's hope for that. Maybe because I'm fun with him too. And I don't know if he'll even know anything about Angie Dickinson, but what the heck, we'll see what we can do with that. Meanwhile, you're listening to Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. You can be part of the show and have some fun answering trivia questions. And we just having fun here on Radio, TV, Movie Classics. And I write a log, I write a rundown of some of the features I do, but I don't do them always in order. It just depends on the situation. I usually try to kind of flip things around a little bit. And I write the rundown of some of the things I'm going to do, but I sometimes don't always follow it verbatim. I kind of skip around and do different things. And sometimes I don't, I might do something at all. I just kind of try to see what I can do about seeing what what we can do. Anyway, you're listening to Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. Your chance to get in on the show. If you want to be part of it, just go into the Spreaker Public site right now. I am in part 2 of the program. Part 2, Radio, Television, Movie Classics. So you'll see that in my Twitter page. If you go in there, I'm the Radio Maniac, and you'll see that, and you'll open up, and you'll see the widget next to the antique radio sign. And when you open up, you can listen to it right there, and it will take you right into my Spreaker Public site. You don't even have to do anything. Just go into my Spreaker Public site. It'll take you right there, and you can go into the chat room and answer some of my trivia questions. So you're welcome to do that, and I recognize you, and I see you, and I will, if you answer the question correctly, I will give you on-air recognition for the correct answer. So there you go. Alrighty. We missed the weather on the 5, so we'll do it around the music show time about 4:45. Okay, so we'll do weather on the 5s at 4:45 because we're rolling right along here. And the next segment I want to do is, let's see. Why don't we do this? I'm going to fly down here to where we would start part 3. Because we are experimenting with something new here at GJRB Online, and I talked about it yesterday on the GJRB Schedule Update podcast. What I'm doing is I'm purposely disconnecting the internet from the back of the computer so that what we'll do is it'll give me more time on my Spreaker Public site. So I did that, and I gave myself a little bit more time, and usually what I'll do is I'll do it like about a half hour into a segment and take a break, and then we'll come back on. So what I'm going to do right now is take a program break, and then I'll be right back. I got more radio, television, and movie classics to come, more trivia questions, and we'll answer the Angie Dickinson trivia questions as well, and more coming up. So stay with me. You're listening to Radio, Television, and Movie Classics on GJRB.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's sports page. Join me for Sports Page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB.
Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.